Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. I'm here today to share with you my TBR for the month of February. Okay, so what has been happening thus far in 2026 with my TBRs is that I've been keeping them smaller than I have previously, which I know in some ways makes for a less interesting video because the more bucks in a video, usually the more interesting. But for me, I think I've been embracing a more slow approach to reading and a little bit more, just kind of a methodical, slow approach. And it's making me feel good in some way. So I'm just going to keep going with it for now. With that in mind, February is a short month. There's kind of this urge to keep piling books on, but really those few days that are missing can really affect, for me, I've found in the past, how I get through books. So I just wanted to be really gentle on myself this month with a smaller TBR. I'm going to start off with the fiction reads, and then I will share the other two with you. So carrying over from January, my Patreon book club is reading The Muse by Jessie Burton. This is a dual timeline novel set in London in 1967 and Spain in 1936. Spain timeline is happening right before the Civil War begins, and so we are following Olive in Spain and Odell in London, and a painting is kind of uniting the two timelines. There is a mystery as to the origin of this painting, where it's come from, why it's there, and both timelines are kind of revealing things about that and also increasing the mystery as they go along. Both Odell and Olive are young women who are, coming into their own as artists in different ways and are exploring what that means for them in their time and what it's going to mean for their future. So that is The Muse by Jessie Burton. All the details on how to join us in reading, if you want to join us, are in the description box down below. Okay, so my big book, I just decided to start off 2026 with a rather large read, and that is the Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. This is going to be, I believe, my fourth or fifth Barbara Kingsolver novel. This is probably arguably her most famous novel, the one, I guess now that she won with Demon Copperfield, maybe that one is her most famous. But before that, the Poisonwood Bible, I think, was really the novel that put Barbara Kingsolver on the map. And this follows a family from Georgia who moved to the Congo to be missionaries. There is a father, a mother, and I believe 4 daughters. And so for my bingo card, which is the Bringing Down the TBR bingo, this book is going to be for country I've never visited. So I've never visited the Congo, and that's going to fall into that category. I don't know much else about this book other than the premise. And that's kind of how I wanted to go into it. Obviously, it has undertones of a colonialism. You're talking about the I believe it starts in 1959, so the 20th century, and a minister traveling to a country in Africa to try to bring the word of God to these people. And I think there are a lot of biblical references woven into the story, and it is a story about what colonialism is and what it does, I believe. So very excited to get to this. I am a fan of Barbara Kingsolver's work. I probably will be a completionist with her work, but I'm still too intimidated to read Demon Copperhead at this point. So we're just going to go with the backlist for now. Okay, and then my third novel of February is my audiobook. And for my audiobook, I'm going to be listening to The Crane's Dance by Meg Howrey. This is a contemporary novel set in New York, and it follows 2 sisters, Gwen, and I can't remember the other one's name right now, who is so far the main narrator. And they are both ballerinas. They are both working for the New York ballet company, I would say. And one of them, Gwen, is the younger sister, and she has had some sort of a breakdown. And I think there's a lot of psychological stuff going on in this novel about being sisters, about Swan Lake, and how that kind of ties into their life. And it's also kind of behind the scenes of a New York City ballet dancer and what their lives are like. So yeah, that is that one. Okay, I'm going to be reading poetry in February. February is also Black History Month in Canada and I believe the United States. And I chose to read Fierce Departures, the poetry of Dionne Brandt, for that. I really love Dionne Brandt. I have read her book. I read a book by her about belonging, and it was kind of like a memoir and essay format last year, and I really, really enjoyed that. So I was craving some poetry, and I wanted to pick up this one and read some more of Dionne Brandt's work. So the selections in Fierce Departures, drawn from Dionne Brandt's work since 1997, delineate with searing eloquence how history marks and dislocates peoples of the African diaspora, how nations concretely and conceptually fail to create safe haven, and how human desire persists nevertheless. So, very excited to get to this. And then my last book for February is a nonfiction read, No Man's Land, The Life and Art of Mary Ritter Hamilton by Kathryn A. Young and Sarah M. McKinnon. Both of these, I believe both of these writers are Canadian, and this is about a Canadian war artist, Mary Ritter Hamilton. And so this is going to count for my Reading Across Canada bingo card. And I decided to apply this one to history. So I'm very excited to read this. This book is tying into research that I am doing for an artwork that is in progress currently. I'm learning more about Canadian women artists, and I've had this book for quite a few years, and I'm really excited to learn more about this woman and her work as a war artist, one of the very few women who did that job over the centuries. Okay, so those are my books for February. Like I said, there's not a lot of them. I want to leave lots of room for spontaneity. If I get through these books and I'm able to pick up another one, you will definitely hear about it in my reading wrap up. And I will be back again soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching.